From Sullivan Field, welcome everybody to Los Alamos High School girls soccer, and this ball game presented to you by the Los Alamos Daily Post and Carol Clark. We want to thank Carol and the Los Alamos Daily Post, and I want to thank my good buddies Matt Limback and John McHale for making all this possible. And this afternoon it will be the Hilltopper girls going up against the Taos Lady Tigers, and the Hilltoppers coming into this ball game right now with a record of 4 wins, 3 losses, and 1 tie. They are 2-0 in district play. They have already defeated Taos once in Taos 3-0. They also defeated Moriarty 1-0. And so they are 2-0, of course, that makes them 2-0 in district. Taos coming into the ball game right now is 3-2-1. And they beat ATATC, that I can't remember what all those letters stand for, charter school down there in Santa Fe. They played them on March 17th and beat them 1-0, and then played them 3 days later, and on the 20th, and beat them 2-0. And they also defeated Moriarty 1-0. They lost to Santa Fe 8-0. Lost to Los Alamos in Taos 3-0, and then they tied Moriarty 0-0. And the Hilltoppers, they defeated their wins are Capital 9-0, Santa Fe 1-0, Moriarty 1-0, Taos 3-0, and they tied St. Michael's at 0-0. And they lost to Socorro, the opening game of the season, and that one came right down to the wire. They lost that one 5-4 in overtime, and then played Cleveland here in right after that here at Sullivan Field, and lost that one 2-0, and then Rio Rancho came to town just the other day and kind of walked away with that one. So anyway, the Hilltoppers are coached by Ann Cernacek, and the Tigers are coached by Casey Tonray. And we expect to see in the goalies is Annika Fox, the senior for Los Alamos, and the senior for Taos, Alaya Suazo. The backup goalies for Los Alamos are Dahlia Drew. She is a junior. And J.D., that is for Los Alamos, of course. And then J.D. Maris is a freshman for the Tigers. Tigers have a very, very young team. Lots of freshmen on this team. And they're not real heavy with the upperclassmen. They have an 8th grader. And let me see if I can count up the freshmen for you just for a heck of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 freshmen. And so I think that's out of like 16 players. They have an 8th grader to boot. So, and the officials now are on the field. Both teams are still in the huddle around their coaches, but the officials now are spreading out, so they've got the ball set down right smack in dead midfield, ground zero. And as soon as the teams break out, we'll be ready to go in this girls soccer game. Hilltopper girls soccer district game here against the Taos Tigers. The Hilltoppers up 2-0 in district play. Have defeated Moriarty and Taos. The C. Espanola does not have a soccer team. So we are about ready to go here at anyway, they're lining things up. I was trying to look over the couple of things here on the schedule, but anyway, we're about ready to go, and the Taos will kick off to start things off. Los Alamos will defend the east goal to start things off, and the Tigers will attack the west goal, and so they waste no time getting it up into Hilltopper territory in a hurry. Picked up there by one of the Topper fullbacks. The fullbacks are going to bring it up and then bring it back down the left sideline. Chasing it down and trying to get to it for Los Alamos is, and that's Tara McDonald. Tara McDonald, the outstanding sophomore striker for Los Alamos. She couldn't get to it, and she was just simply outrun by Natalia Quintanilla. Quintanilla with the throw-in is going to come down the right sideline, stolen away by the Tigers, and battle for it over on the sideline, and Hilltoppers are just going to scoot it out of bounds, so the Tigers will inbound it, and they're going to run up. They're going to bring all the way up. She was way down the field, Natalia Quintanilla. So Natalia makes the throw in for the Tigers. And this one's going to go down the right sideline, and Hilltoppers are just going to clear it out of bounds. So the Hilltoppers clear it out. Now the throw in. So the teams are kind of nonchalant here this afternoon. It is a beautiful, beautiful March afternoon. Well, now it's an April afternoon. Happy April Fool's Day, everybody. And I must say I'm proud today. I stung a few people. That's always fun. So the Hilltoppers with the throw in. And this one's going to be knocked out of bounds by the Tigers. The Hilltoppers will throw it in once again. Nope. They're going to say, no, that's the Tiger ball, and a Corina Harrower will make the throw in for the Tigers. She brings it down the right sideline. This whole ball game right now has been played in the Los Alamos side of the field. Taos trying on the attack once again and really putting on the pressure this time for the Tigers is Ava Lerner-Sprunt. And boy, I mean, she just came through into that penalty box, and she put a lot of pressure on Los Alamos that time. So the ball now has come up. The ball still is in Los Alamos territory. The Hilltoppers really haven't gotten it into the Taos territory yet. It goes out of bounds off the Tigers, and that's going to be about 25 yards deep into Hilltopper territory down the left sideline. Picked up there by the Hilltoppers. Tara McDonald, nice kick upfield. Comes over to the right side, trying to chase it down for Los Alamos this time is Meredith Brown. Meredith Brown gets to it over near the corner, and she loses it out of bounds, so it's going to be a goal kick. And for the Tigers. And taking that goal kick for the Tigers now is going to be Selena Bales. So Selena, with the kick, comes up near the midfield circle. There's another battle for it. And the Taos is going to win the battle. It's just like it's just like some kids playing hacky sack out there. That ball just not going anywhere. Now they finally do bring it up to the Hilltoppers. As Hilltoppers get it up to Meredith Brown. Brown brings it down the right sideline. She's going to go all the way near the flag trying to get the centering pass across. She cannot. And this one's going to go also over the end line. And so, once again, a goal kick for the Tigers. So once again, their goalie, LAHS Wazo, she's going to just give the honors over now to Selena Bales. Bales boots it up, picked up there by the Tigers, stolen away for Los Alamos by Meredith Brown. Meredith Brown seems to be the only one Los Alamos in the front court or in the front part of the field. The Taos side of the field is having anything to do with it. Now it's cleared down the right sideline. A long kick downfield down the right sideline. That's going to go out of bounds, and that kick was off of Katie Osborne. So Katie Osborne with the kick, and so I don't think we have any ball shaggers today, so they will chase down a loose ball. And we're just underway here in this ball game, 5th minute of the ball game. And, of course, no score at this point. So finally, they finally get the ball. So finally coming back with it after chasing it down, J.D. Mares. J.D. is the backup goalie, but she's out on the field right now, and J.D. is only a freshman. So the Hilltoppers have it in the center circle, and the battle for it. This one's going to be almost won by the Tigers, but a good job by the Hilltoppers of Olivia Bell to keep it alive for Los Alamos. Brings it up to Meredith Brown. Brown trying to get it into the middle of the field to Tara McDonald, and that's just going to be lost out of bounds by the Hilltoppers. Long kick, long throw up near midfield. Hilltoppers pick it up. Now they're coming down that right sideline. Trying to get it down the field again, once again to Tara McDonald. Tara McDonald, the sophomore striker for Los Alamos. So the girls are going to roll it over now to the right side. Long kick. And this one is picked up by Los Alamos. They get it to Tara McDonald. McDonald trying to get it over to Meredith Brown, and then they scoop it over this time to, and that's a Peyton Miller. And Miller takes a little soft shot, and couldn't get anything on it. So it comes right to the goalie. She walks up to the top of the penalty box, and she's going to boot it up. And the Hilltoppers boot it way back downfield. Comes to the left side of the penalty box. And is it going to? No, it's not going to go over the end line. The Hilltoppers chase it down into that corner, and Lily Shevitz. So the Hilltoppers with a long shot from outside, and that one taken for the Hilltoppers by Olivia Bell, but comes right to the waiting arms of their goalie, LAHS Suazo. So Suazo was just a little. She came to the top of the penalty box, and then she only kicked it about 10 yards. Hilltoppers pick it up down the right sideline. Come the Hilltoppers. Trying to get it up to Tara McDonald. Tara can't get to it, so it's going to scoot away from Tara and go right to their goalie once again. So right there she goes up to the top of the penalty box again. This last one only went about 10 yards. This one she puts about 20 yards down the field, but then it's headed downfield by Los Alamos. So the Hilltoppers, they just head it back to their fullbacks, and then they just let the fullbacks clear it back up the field. The ball back in Hilltopper into Taos territory. Long throw down the sideline. There's a battle for it on the side. It didn't go out of bounds. I thought it might, but the Hilltoppers keep it in. They bring it back upfield, and the Hilltoppers just played Taos in Taos. They've won that one 3-0, and so they're going to bring it up once again now, trying to get it upfield to Addie Witt. Addie Witt still playing. Still we're going to have it stolen away from her. No, I'm sorry, that's Jenna Harris. Let me correct that. That was Jenna Harris, and now the Tigers, who had, in the first about 3 or 4 minutes of this ball game, it was all Tigers on their side of the field. Now Los Alamos is kind of taking things over. Nice pass down the left side of the penalty box, coming in a hurry for Los Alamos that time, but could not get to it, and that was Lily Shevitz. So it's going to go, I think, might be over the end line. Let's see what they're going to rule here. Well, the flag, somehow the flag for a corner kick was suddenly gone. So the official chases it down wherever it went. Hilltoppers. So it's going to be a throw-in, and a shot taken this time. Nice shot taken by Los Alamos and pretty shot for the Hilltopper by Jenna Harris. But right there, Elias Suazo. And there's another one of those little 10-yard kicks that's going to come right to Tara McDonald. McDonald brings it over to the left side of the goal. Hilltoppers trying to make that centering pass, and they cannot, as it's going to go over the end line, and that was Lily Shevitz. And she trying to chase it down into the kind of the left side of the goal in the penalty box, but hoping to make that crossing pass. So Selena Bales this time takes the goal kick, and pretty short kick once again. So the kicking game for the Tigers right now has not been that great, coming out of the goal kicks or just the goalkeeper kicks. So the Hilltoppers have it down the right sideline. Meredith Brown trying to get to it, and let's see, all the way over in that corner. And let's see if it's going to go over the end line. And I believe now we're going to have a corner kick for Los Alamos. And let's see if I can pick up who was in the corner. That's a toughie for me here. And my angle. And the girl now is chasing down the ball, so I have to wait till she gets back. Anyway, it's going to be a corner kick for Los Alamos. And let's see if I can see who has set that ball down in the corner. Tara McDonald is going to make the corner kick. So Tara lines it up for the Hilltoppers. It's going to come out near the top of the penalty box, picked up there by Los Alamos. Los Alamos comes to the Tigers. The Tigers, they almost got away with it. That's coming up the floor, coming up the field was Ava Gherkin, and she was kind of all by herself, but she was just kind of only challenged by one Hilltopper defender. Comes back to Ava once again. Now the Hilltoppers are just going to bring it straight back and bring it up to Elia Richens. Richens bring it down the left sideline for the Hilltoppers. The Hilltoppers trying to get something going down that left sideline. Here comes Tara McDonald down that left sideline trying to make a crossing pass. And so she lines it up, makes the crossing pass. This one's intercepted by the Tigers. And so Selena Bales, who's been very active back there, she picks it up and she scoops it back upfield. So right now, let's see, we are in the ball game here. We are now in the 12th minute, and there's still no score in this district contest. This is Gene Mortensen, and all by myself here in our brand new press box at Sullivan Field. So we're going to have a throw-in now for the Tigers. And down that right sideline, still deep in Taos territory. Out of bounds once again, it's going to go. Natalia Quintanilla will chase it down for the Tigers. And it's a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. A slight breeze. But other than that, I mean, beautiful April afternoon. So the inbound pass, and that's going to be, well, I thought that was lost off of Sienna Satania, but they're going to say no, it didn't go out of bounds. Coming up the field in a hurry, picking it up at midfield for Los Alamos, and then bringing it back into play. Katie Osborne, top of the penalty box right now. Hilltoppers on the attack. Tara McDonald, she's going to bring it up, and boy, the Hilltoppers with a nice attack that time. And I thought they were going to get it up to Lily Shevitz. And so that's going to go over the end line off of the Tigers. So it's going to be a corner kick. The last one was a corner kick from the right side on the flag on the right side of the goal. This time they'll go to the opposite side, to the left side. And once again, they're going to hand the ball to Tara McDonald. And she's going to put it down in that little half circle next to the flag. I don't know why they have that flag there. So this comes into, and this is going to be knocked away by Selena Bales. Nice play by Selena. It was a good corner kick. Came down right right at the right goal post, but Selena Bales right there to clear it out for the Lady Tigers. So the Hilltoppers on the attack once again. Comes to Jenna Harris. Harris trying to scoop it over to Olivia Bell. Can't get to it. The Tigers steal it away. And so it's going to go, well, not too far out of bounds. Just across the track, so they pick it up. And the inbound pass taken by Katie Osborne. And the ball is right at the corner of the penalty box on the right side of the field. In Taos territory, they couldn't get it out of there, and the Hilltoppers couldn't seem to get control. So it goes out of bounds and a quick throw-in by the Tigers. That's going to come up to Katie Osborne. Osborne's going to bring it upfield. Now a long kick upfield, that time by Katie. Just coming in from the left side and trying to get to it once again was Lily Shevitz. And let's see what they're going to call here. I don't think they're going to call anything in particular. Oh, yeah, they're going to call us almost for offsides. So the Hilltoppers are been called for offsides, and so it's going to be a free kick for the Tigers. And that one's going to be picked up by Los Alamos. Olivia Bell right near the center circles, and it goes all the way over to the left sideline. Now trying to come down that left sideline for the Hilltoppers as they scoop it up now to Elia Walker. Elia Walker can't control it. She loses it out of bounds, and so chasing the ball down as it rolls down the track is Natalia Quintanilla. She's the one she's a designated thrower in her anyway. So she goes and picks up that ball, and then there comes that throw in. The Hilltoppers pick it up, but stolen away by the Tigers. The Tigers, this whole the Tigers kind of an attack in the beginning of the contest and kept it in there for about 5 minutes, and then ever since then it's been all Los Alamos, and we are in the 16th minute, and it's been all Los Alamos up to this point. So Tara McDonald will bring it over onto the right wing and right over to the right near the right of the penalty box. This one is going to be a throw-in for Los Alamos as it was cleared out by the Tigers, and so now the ball is going to go over the end line off of Los Alamos, so it's going to make it a goal kick. So, goal kick for the Tigers. See, what are they calling here? Are we going to get a... Oh, no, wait, they're calling... Okay, it's a corner kick again. It went over the end line. It went off of... I could have sworn it went off of Los Alamos, but they're going to have a corner kick that's cleared out nicely by the... Came into the pack, and nice kick out of there by the Tigers. But that ball went over the end line, and I was sure it was off of Los Alamos. It seemed like there was the only girl there was a Los Alamos girl. I was expecting a goal kick, and then they set it up for a corner kick. But anyway, Taos plays that corner kick very well. And a 0-0 ball game here in the first half of play. Just entered the 18th minute. There's 40-minute halves, of course. And so the Tigers pick it up, and they will inbound it right at midfield, and they'll work down their left sideline. This pass is easily picked off by Peyton Miller for Los Alamos, but then come charging through, and here go the Tigers, and that is Kelly Tonray. And I do believe Kelly is the coach's daughter, Casey Tonray, obviously. So the Hilltoppers now pick it up, and they're going to bring it back down the left sideline. Tara McDonald trying to get to it for Los Alamos. Cannot. Cleared out of bounds. So right there's Natalia Quintanilla. So Natalia clears it out. So the Hilltoppers will throw it in. And that'll be about 20 yards up from the flag on the left side of the field. They're going to bring it over. Now they bring it down the left sideline to Elia Walker. And Walker is going to lose it out of bounds. So neither team has really put on much of an attack. The Hilltoppers, most of this ball game since after about the 5-minute mark, has been played in Taos territory. But even so, the Hilltoppers have not been able to mount much of an attack against the goalie Elias Suazo. And right now, Annika Fox is, I don't know, she might as well just get a chair and sit down because it's. John McHale needs to loan her one of his little chairs he carries around. So we are still, the ball is still, well, from about the 35-yard line of the football field up to the midfield. Both teams have just been kind of playing a pinball in that area in Taos territory. Now the Tigers try to bring it down the right sideline, and and so Natalia Quintanilla will pick it up and make the throw in, and it's going to comes to Lily Shevitz, but then it's stolen away by the Tigers. Now coming down the field in a hurry, and some really, really good ball handling that time, but the ball's going to go back to Annika Fox, kicked back to her by Los Alamos, and of course she can't pick it up if it's kicked to her. Now the Hilltoppers gain control, coming right down the middle of the field. There's a through ball, and that's going to go all the way over into the right of the penalty box, and it's going to go over the end line. Boy, it was a nice pass, and then trying to get to it that time, but could not, and that was Maddie Tapia. So Maddie Tapia, they looked like she had, no, let me correct that. That is Peyton Miller. Looking through the screen. I have to look through the screen here in the press box, and sometimes it's hard to, it was 17 and 11 were the numbers anyway. So they bring it up to Tara McDonald. McDonald about 10 yards out from the top of the penalty box. It brings it into the left side of the penalty box. And then it's a slow roller. I mean, a really, really slow roller that time for the Hilltoppers, and that was by Addie Witt. And so Elias Wazo, I thought she was going to shoot a free throw there for a minute. She came out the top of the penalty box, bounced the ball about four or five times, and then she finally kicked it and kicks it about 10 yards. So the Hilltoppers have a throw-in as it went out of bounds off of the Tigers, making the throw-in Katie Osborne. Osborne down to the right side of the penalty box, and that's just going to go over the end line. That'll make it a goal kick, and so they will bring Selena Bales out to make that kick. So we're more than halfway right now through this first half of play, and it's a 22nd minute, and it's still a 0-0 ball game. Taos has really not been able to attack Annika Fox at all, really, and the Hilltoppers haven't put a whole lot of pressure on Elias Wazo, except that they've kept Elia very busy, would have to say. So now Hilltoppers are going to throw it in, and it was, they picked the ball up about the 30-yard line, and then the official kept telling them to come back, come down, about the 10. And they make the throw in. There's a little soft kick, easily picked up by Elias Wazo, the goalie. And so, once again, now the ball up near the center circle in a battle for it, won by the Hilltoppers momentarily. Now won back by the Tigers, and so Hilltoppers just cleared out of bounds. And so the Tigers will inbound it. They'll bring it down that left sideline. They're about, they're about 20 yards up from the flag on that left side of the field. Try to bring it down that left sideline, and this one, looked like it was going to go out of bounds, and finally it does. But actually went out of bounds off of one of the Hilltoppers. So right at the flag, the neutral flag. And they could throw in a nice kick upfield. That's going to be almost a through ball. They're going to roll it back to Annika Fox. Fox has to kick it away. And a line drive kick right down the middle of the field comes out to the 30-yard line of the football field, so 20 yards deep into Hilltopper territory. And then the kick down the left sideline by the Hilltoppers, Tara McDonald trying to get to it, but just then simply cleared out of bounds by Rosemarie Van Willigen. So down the left sideline, Tara McDonald once again, crossing pass. And this one's going to go, I believe, let's see. Went over the end line. There was a young lady from Taos trying to get to it. And so I think we're going to have another corner kick for Los Alamos. Yes, we are. And so picking the ball up and heading over to the corner right now is Tara McDonald. So Tara will put it down in that little area right next to the flag. Everybody on the move. Everybody on the move. And boy, a beautiful corner kick, and the Hilltoppers can't get to it. Elias Wazo thought she had a chance at it. She missed it. Came right down in front of Peyton Miller, but Peyton couldn't get her foot on it. So the ball now is going to go out of bounds off, let's see, is that going to be off the Tigers? No, they're going to, I didn't see it go over the end line, but I guess it did. And so the Hilltoppers going to corner kick now from the right side of the field, right side of the penalty box. And the ball there's tried a quick shot. Taos trying to get it out of there. Nobody from Los Alamos really attacking at that point because it just came in. It was in the middle of the penalty box. And finally, Taos just cleared it out, and the Hilltoppers, nobody seemed to want to rise to the occasion at that point. So the Tigers now bring it upfield, pass down the left sideline. And trying to get to it for the Tigers is Sienna Satenya. Sienna. So finally, Elia Richens comes over and just boots it out of bounds. That's a nice thing about soccer. You're roaring down the field, just boot it out of bounds. Or if you have a nice fast break, the goalie just comes out and picks it up. So, kick upfield by the Tigers or by the Hilltoppers. And the Hilltoppers are going to lose it. Meredith Brown trying to get control right at midfield. So the Tigers now will inbound it right at the neutral flag. They'll work down the left sideline. We are in the 26th minute and still no score in this district contest. Pass upfield is picked up by Peyton Miller. Brings it over into the midfield circle. Battle for it. Taos momentarily wins the battle, and then the Hilltoppers a long kick down. They get it now down to Tara McDonald coming down the left side of the penalty box. That one's going to be cleared out, and I think it's going to go. Yeah, they're going to chase it down. It's going to be a throw-in for Los Alamos, and Los Alamos will throw it in about 15, 20 yards up from the flag on the left side of the field. So they're fairly deep into Taos territory, and so holding the ball as we're going to see you have a substitution, I think. So the Hilltoppers bring it in, and then Tara McDonald with a little left-footed kick makes a one-bouncer, comes right to Alaya Suazo. Suazo once again bouncing that ball. She stands right. She comes all the way up. She's still in the penalty box, but she's all the way up to the line. And she bounces that around. Stolen away by the Tigers in the center circle. Boy, some beautiful ball handling that time by Sienna Satenya. Satenya still with it, and now they're going to bring it into the middle of the field. Pass upfield blocked by Los Alamos. Still picked up by the Tigers. But finally Los Alamos is able to clear it out. And they're going to bring it upfield now to Addie Witt. Addie, she's just going to boot it upfield. And so we are in the 28th minute of this 40-minute half. And no score. And not much of an attack by either team, except Los Alamos they've been putting all the pressure on most of this ball game in the Taos side of the field, but they really have not been able to put together a real strong coordinated attack. So the pass comes down. It's blocked momentarily by Tara McDonald, and then they get it away from Tara. And so now they're going to make a long kick down the right sideline, and that's going to Karina Harrower trying to get to it, cannot get to it. And so finally Los Alamos clears it way back upfield. And so just running over there in a hurry and just getting it out of there is Selena Bales. So Selena, she is a junior. And they have about half freshman. They have an 8th grader. Very, very young team here for the Tigers. Hilltoppers bring it into Tara McDonald. McDonald trying to get it up near midfield on the other side. Puts too much on it, and Katie Osborne trying to chase it down. Cannot. So it'll be picked up by Taos, and as the ball goes rolling down the track. So picking it up is J.D. Morris. So J.D., the freshman, makes a nice throw in down the right sideline. And all the Hilltoppers can do is just clear it out. And so that was a nice throw and came right down the field to Katie Osborne. Pretty throw in by the freshman. And so we're ready to go. I'm not sure what the delay was, but so Tara McDonald all the way back almost to the penalty box to strike her for Los Alamos, and she's all the way over, and she's like clear back about 15 yards up from the goal line. And she normally plays on about 15 yards up from the goal line on the other end. So unless they decided to shift Tara back to a midfield position. Ann Cernicek, the head coach of Los Alamos, Casey Tonray, the head coach for the Tigers. And so the Hilltoppers will inbound it, and about 25 yards deep into their own territory, work it down the left sideline. Katie Osborne will make the throw in. and it's going to go out of bounds right at the substitution flag. And we are going to have a substitution. Caitlin Woolery, freshman, will check in for the Tigers, and she's going to replace us, Natalia Quintanilla. Sorry about that. So Natalia Quintanilla, she's the one that would normally make the throw in, but she just left the ball game. Tigers once again trying to get some kind of an attack going. Los Alamos, all the fullbacks are all the way up to the 30-yard line. Now they're going to peel back a little bit as Tigers are going to make the throw in. They bring a throw in, they bring it down the right sideline. That's cleared up, back upfield by Los Alamos. Los Alamos bringing it down the left sideline. There's a race for it, trying to get to it for the Tigers, and they're just going to clear it out. And that's Rosemarie Van Willigen. So Van Willigen just clears it out of bounds, and so let's see. We're going to have a substitution for Los Alamos. Leaving the ball game is Addie Witt, and let's see if I can pick up who just came in. See, I think that, well, I'll try to grab it here in a minute, but the ball comes into the midfield circle and picked up there by Los Alamos. Is going to go out of bounds over down the right sideline, and checking back into the ball game for Los Alamos. Let's see, that was Olivia Bell who came back into the ball game. So pass upfield into a crowd, and it's a lot of white jerseys in there. The Hilltoppers are all in green with gold numbers. The Tigers are in white jerseys, dark pants, dark shorts, and there's a shot taken by Los Alamos all of a sudden, just flat out of nowhere by Olivia Bell. Wow. The ball was just kind of rolling around, swirling around at the top of the penalty box. Nobody was really making a move for it, but all of a sudden Olivia just suddenly let it fire. But unfortunately for Los Alamos, LAHS Suazo was in perfect position, came right to her. Long kick upfield. There's a moon ball by Los Alamos going to come down to Meredith Brown. Brown comes down the right sideline. She's down the right side of the penalty box, still with it. She tries to center it, easily picked up by the Taos fullbacks, and that is Selena Bales, Selena. She's been pretty active back there in that fullback position. We are now in the 34th minute, still no score in this district contest. Hilltoppers have already had one tie, and they tied St. Michael's. And the Taos has all had one tie. They tied Moriarty, and then they defeated Moriarty. Pass upfield. Hilltoppers, just all they can do is clear it back upfield. The Tigers pick it up at midfield again. Pass comes up into the middle of the field, gets by the Hilltoppers, and so trying to come over and make the stop for Los Alamos that time was Elia Richens. Mistimed her kick, and it went right by her. So Hilltoppers is now trying to get it out of there and bring it upfield. Long kick upfield, and that's going to bounce over one of the Lady Tigers' heads, and Hilltoppers going to clear it over toward the right sideline. That one's going to go out of bounds, so that pass to the right sideline this time was made by Jenna Harris. And it's going to be out of bounds off of the, let's see, bad angle for me right here. Tigers are going to inbound it, so that kickoff as Jenna just went flying out of bounds. Kick up field, and that's going to go off of the Los Alamos. And so now we'll have a throw in as we enter the 36th minute of this 40-minute half, 0-0 ball game. District contest, Los Alamos and the Moriarty Lady Fighting Pintos. So pass comes up. All the Hilltopper fullbacks are all the way up to the 45-yard line, still in Hilltopper territory, but they're playing way up this time. And they bring it over onto the left sideline. And that's going to be knocked out of bounds by the Tigers. Hilltoppers will inbound it. They're going to inbound it 20 yards deep into Taos territory. They'll work down the left sideline. We've got a couple of substitutions coming in. Let's see if I can pick them up. Let's see, coming into the ball game right now, first of all, is Maddie Tapia, and the other girl who just entered the ball game was Elia Walker. So now finally there's that throw in 20 yards deep into Taos territory. This is going to be cleared up field, picked up by the Hilltoppers. Tigers trying to get it out of there. They can't. And boy, I tell you, Lily Sheffit's just giving them fits. And she finally is able to clear it out. But then the Tigers are able to get something going as they come down the right sideline. Nice, boy, beautiful movement there by the Hilltoppers, and great dribbling for the Tigers by Annabelle Caldwell. So Annabelle did a good job of challenging the Hilltopper defenders. And so she brings it down. Let's see, and the ball is going to finally go out of bounds about halfway down into Hilltopper territory, working down the right sideline. And they keep moving her up further and further. She's up now. She's 20. Well, about halfway. She's about the 25-yard line, so almost halfway. So now we're going to have let's see. They're going to call a. Well, you don't see that very often, but they call her for an illegal throw-in. I know something about the way she lifted up her foot or something, but anyway, they say the throw-in is an invalid throw-in, so they give the ball back over to the Hilltoppers. Ball comes into the center circle. It's going to be picked up there for Los Alamos, and chasing it down, Maddie Tapia for Los Alamos gets away from her, and now trying to come down the left sideline and try to get something going this time is J.D. Morris, the freshman, and then she's just simply coming over in a hurry for Los Alamos that time, and that was Kyla Peterson, and she just had no problem at all stealing it away from J.D., but it went out of bounds off of her, so now the Hilltoppers, they have the throw in, and once again it's off of Los Alamos. The clock is stopped at 38, which means we are unofficially in the final 2 minutes. The time is kept on the field. The throw-in comes to Elia Richens, standing right at the top of the penalty box. She just gave it a little nonchalant boot, so went straight up in the air, and so still chasing that ball down. We're in the final 2 minutes of the first half. Is all unofficial. That scoreboard clock is completely unofficial. The referee keeps track of everything, and he also keeps track of the extra time if they need it. So finally, we finally get things ready to go. There's a throw in, and then it's just easily and simply kicked out of bounds by Katie Osborne. So Katie Osborne, and so the throw and came in. Los Alamos tried to kick it back up, and it went off the left side of her foot and came high in the air, came right down in the middle of the penalty box, and then a nice kick downfield that time by Sienna Satania, and that's going to go over the end line, the right side of the goal. So the Hilltoppers, the throw-in, they just simply bring it upfield to the fullbacks, and then they let Elia Richens take over. Another battle for it. Now they're going to call a violation against Los Alamos. It's going to be a free kick for the Tigers. And let's see, I think he's calling a handball, I do believe. That's what it looks like. And so they're going to bring up Selena Bales. So Selena Bales is going to come up, and they're going to put the ball down right at the football 25-yard line, so that means it's close to 35 yards out. And so now they're going to move it up closer to the 20-yard line. So now we're talking about close to 30 yards. And so Selena Bales will take the kick. The closing moments of this first half. And Selena Bales, Los Alamos sets up the wall. There's Selena takes the shot. This is going to go wide left. So she puts a worm burner right down just zinging down the ground, and we're left of the goal. And so as soon as they make that kick, that's the end. That's the end of the first half. It was scored 0-0 after one half of play. So this is Gene Martinson, and we don't have commercials to go to, so I'm going to take a little break and then be back in just a little bit, as it's the Hilltopper taking on the Taos Tigers, and the 0-0 after one half of play. These two teams played last week in Taos. Hilltoppers won that one 3-0, but anyway, this is this one right now, no score. So I'll be back in a few minutes. So we are back, and the start things off once again, and this time the Hilltoppers will kick off, and they do kick off 0-0 ball game here, and this time the Hilltoppers will attack the east goal, which means that LAHS kind of looking into the sun. Los Alamos normally, almost in every game that we've seen, the Hilltoppers have always defended the east goal in the first half, especially so then when it comes around to the second half, then the sun gets lower, it's in the eyes of the opponent. But that happens when they make the flip. Whoever wins the flip decides whether they want to kick off and which goal they want to defend. So right now, actually, Elias Suazo is in that east goal, and Annika Fox still in the west goal, and so Annika she hasn't been very active in this ball game. Tigers trying to get something going, and they cannot. But it's going to become Laya Richards is going to come up, steal it away for Los Alamos. 0-0 ball game, and we're just underway here in the second half of play. Long kick downfield this time by the Hilltoppers. That's Mackenzie Ashave. She comes over to the right side of the penalty box. Los Alamos trying to set things up in the top of the penalty box. A little crossing pass that's going to be cleared out by the Tigers, and that was Rosemarie Van Willigen. So Rosemarie Van Willigen cuts off the attack by Los Alamos, and now the Hilltoppers are going to inbound it. So it'll bring in it, and that's going to be Elia Walker. Walker makes the throw in, and this is going to be picked up by the Tigers. And now battling for it for the Tigers, we have Robin Chartrand, and along with Sawyer Sides for the Tigers, both battling away. Ball's going to get through everybody. Hilltoppers, whoa! And the Hilltoppers had a golden opportunity as they got the ball. They had a crossing pass that came across, and it came down right to Elia Walker, and she had a one-on-one with Elia Suazo, and she tried to kick it with her left foot, and that right side of the goal was 100% open. I mean, it was wide open, and it goes off the left side of her foot and goes to the left side of the goal. And that ball should have just been aimed right at the right side of that net, and that would have been in for sure. So the Hilltoppers had the golden opportunity, and this time it doesn't pay off. But that's probably the best opportunity the Hilltoppers have had in this whole ball game. So we're in the 43rd minute, and still a 0-0 ball game, and so Selena Bales will make the kick upfield. But the Hilltoppers looked a little better on that attack. They haven't had a really good coordinated attack yet, but they did that time. Tara McDonald is going to bring it over now to Elia Walker. Walker is going to scoop it back upfield, and to Mackenzie Chavez. Chavez, long kick, bumped down to the right side of the penalty box. Tara McDonald picks it up there. She just boots it back over to the right side. She was in the center, right on top of she was in the middle, right on top of the penalty box, and she decided to go back to the right side of the penalty box, and it goes over the end line anyway off of Los Alamos, and so it's going to be a goal kick. So during the halftime, I did check out and see what the class situation was here for both of these teams, and so there's the goal kick by the Tigers, and they do bring it across midfield, where it's going to be picked up there by Mackenzie Chavez. Nice kick down the left side, cleared out by the Tigers. I thought that was going to go out of bounds, but a good save by Natalia Quintanilla. Hilltoppers pick it up. They're going to bring it up to Meredith Brown. Nice pass over the right side of the penalty box. Hilltoppers working with it, trying to get through traffic. Ball now comes over near the flag on the right side. Hilltoppers still trying to get it into the penalty box. Going to be picked up there by Meredith Brown once again. Cleared out by the Tigers, and it's going to go out of bounds. Saved back in for the Hilltoppers by Peyton Miller, and as they bring it down the right sideline, and the crossing pass this time, and that crossing pass taken for Los Alamos, but Robin Chartrand, and that's going to go over the end line. Goal kick. 0-0 ball game. 46th minute of this second half. 46 of 80. Here come the Toppers. Whoa. They had a beautiful attack going there, but boy, good play that time as Olivia Bell coming in from the right side. But boy, I mean, right there cutting everything off was Rosemarie Van Willigan. She's been very active. Tara McDonald with it for Los Alamos. Stolen away from Tara, but it's still going to be stolen back for Los Alamos by Robin Chartrand. Robin's going to get it out now to Meredith Brown. Brown gets it Tara McDonald. McDonald dribbling with it back to Meredith. The two are only a few feet apart. Now they're going to bring it down the right sideline to Robin Chartrand. It's going to be cleared out. Well, they tried to clear it out, but it's going to come right to Peyton Miller. Miller with a long kick comes to the top of the penalty box. Battle for it there for Los Alamos. Meredith Brown gets it to Mackenzie Achave. And so the Hilltoppers trying to get something going because they really were on the attack, but they just couldn't seem to get coordinated and just kind of get together. So they had complete control of the ball, but they just weren't able to turn that into an attack. Going to come now up to the Hilltoppers, up to Elia Walker, and Walker will going to go out of bounds off of the Tigers. So Elia makes a quick throw in right near midfield to Tara McDonald, and McDonald going to come across the nice kick across to the right side of the penalty box with a long kick almost from midfield. Hilltoppers chase it down, and then they're going to lose it. Let's see what are they ruling here? Okay, they're going to say it was out of bounds off of the Tigers. I couldn't tell what they were doing. They were waving the flag and pointing, and so anyway. So now that ball is going to go out of bounds, roll down the track. Hilltoppers will pick it up, and now they'll make the throw in. And it's going to be Peyton Miller. So Miller makes the throw in, comes to Meredith Brown. Brown brings it to the right side of the penalty box, going to be brought back. And there's a shot taken by Los Alamos. Boy, a nice hard left-footed kick. That one taken by Tara McDonald. And boy, she put her foot into that one. Went flying over the top of the goal. So that's going to make it a goal kick now for the Lady Tigers. We're in the 49th minute of this contest. Still 0-0. Goal kick. That's picked up by the Tigers. Headed back upfield by Los Alamos. Tigers again. There's a missed kick by the Tigers. They're just trying to set it up. That time was Natalia Quintanilla. And the ball was just kind of coming to her. And then her intention was to boot it way down the right sideline. She missed the ball. So the Hilltoppers get control. It's going to be picked up by Quintanilla, brought back upfield. So both teams now just exchanging the ball in about a 20-foot distance from each other, 20-yard distance from each other. And so another battle for it. They're all just in a pack. One team brings it out, the other team gets control, and the other team gets control. They're not moving the ball hardly at all. Now they finally do bring it down, long downfield. It's going to go over, it's going to go over the end line. That's going to be off of Los Alamos. And so the J.D. Maris, the freshman, backup goalie. So we have a substitution. The breakdown for Taos is they have 3 seniors, 2 juniors, 3 sophomores, and 8 freshmen on this team, and 1 8th grader. So very, very young team for Casey Tonray. And for Los Alamos, and for Ann Cernicek, she has 4 seniors and then 9 juniors. So she's a good core coming back. And then she has 3 sophomores and 1 freshman. And that freshman Meredith Brown. So we're ready to go after the substitution by the Lady Tigers. This ball is going to go over the end line, and let's see, are they going to rule a corner kick? I think they are. Yes, they are. So they're going to say that it went off of that time. It went rolling off of that time J.D. Maris, and so they're going to send Tara McDonald into the corner. She's on the flag on the right side of the goal, and so she sets it up, and it's going to come out right to the top, right in the middle of the penalty box. No Hilltopper can get on it. The ball now rolling up, picked up by Meredith Brown, brings it over to Elia Walker. Walker trying to line up a shot. And she's a little centering pass, and boy, that one is a shot taken. The shot taken for the Hilltoppers by Katie Osborne. That's bounced away. I thought that was in for sure, and that one gets bounced away. I'm not sure what it hit because it wasn't the goalie, and so it might have bounced off of one of the fullbacks, but it looked like she had an open shot, and it just hit her. It kind of brought the crowd to its feet a little bit, and then it got bounced out, and then one of the Hilltoppers tried to make a header attempt, but she couldn't get her head on the thing. So anyway, then finally Taos was able to clear it out, but the Hilltoppers had another golden opportunity now, a shot taken, and boy, beautiful shot by Elia Walker. Wow. And thought that thing was in for sure, but boy, a great save by Elias Suazo, the goalie, and she knocks it over the end line. So the Hilltoppers once again with that corner kick, and this time it's going to be Tara McDonald, and it looks like she's going to make a left-footed kick this time, and she just brings it down into the side of the right side of the goal. But boy, the Hilltoppers had it there. They had the ball, and so they had the wide open shot. Well, it looked like a wide open shot, and it just kind of bounced off of somebody, and whoever was trying to make the header, I didn't pick up the number, but she just couldn't get in position where she could get enough I can do this, where she could get enough of her head on it. So crossing pass for Los Alamos coming in from the right side. Boy, and another beautiful shot is a beautiful crossing pass, and they just brought it right over onto the right side, and then charging in that time for the Hilltoppers was Kyla Peterson, and boy, she let it fly, and another great save by Elias Suazo. So the Hilltoppers putting on the pressure. Tara McDonald with it for Los Alamos. And they're going to roll it upfield. The Tigers are going to try to pick it up, but there for the Hilltoppers is Mackenzie Ashave to clear it out of bounds. We are now in the 54th minute of this contest. And Natalia Quintanilla once again will make the throw in. Comes downfield, cleared up field for Los Alamos. Breaking through everybody, coming down the left side, Jenna Harris. Harris crossing pass. Whoa. Beautiful crossing pass that time by Jenna, and she just got it. She got it right across that time too. And let's see, who was that? Okay, I think that was Tara McDonald. Got a beautiful crossing pass to Tara, and Tara kicks it over the top of the goal. 55th minute just entered. Still a 0-0 ball game. Selena Bales will make the kick for the Tigers, the goal kick. So he's lining it up more and more and more. Now she decides to boot it upfield. It's going to be picked up there by Elia Walker for Los Alamos, cleared out by the Tigers into the midfield circle, into the center circle, and comes down to Katie Ashave. Ashave brings it up to Tara McDonald. McDonald pass over to the right side of the penalty box, trying to get it this time. She was trying, at least, to get it to let's see, that's not Katie. Well, I thought it was Katie Osborne. That's not Katie Osborne. Anyway, sometimes the ponytails defeat. Kylie Peterson was the young lady. So Hilltopper's still trying to get something going here. They've been putting a lot of pressure. And comes to Tara McDonald. McDonald, top of the penalty box. Her shot is blocked away. So right there to block it away for the Tigers that time was cleared away for the Tigers that time. It's Grace Carmona. I looked down at it to see what was going on. Oh, it's going to be a corner. Ball went over the end line off of the Tigers, and another tough angle for me here. Hilltoppers with the corner kick. It's going to come. It's going to go off of one of the toppers over the end line. That's going to make it a goal kick. So these two teams are in a district situation. Is Los Alamos is 2-0, and Taos is 1-1. So they defeated. Interestingly enough, they defeated ATATC, and but that was not a district game. Their one win was Moriarty. Their loss was Los Alamos, and their tie was Moriarty. So the pass down the right side of the penalty box over the end line, and that makes it now another goal kick for the Tigers. So they'll set Selena Bales. I think it's Selena. I keep using them interchangeably. So. Hold on a second.
Did you have that mic down?
No.
Okay. Your volume is way down.
Oh, is that right? So, see John McHale just visiting me and telling me that our volume has suddenly diminished. So I'm not sure why. But everything. Anyway, the constant battle with technology. So we'll see what we can do to make this up. So it's going to be a throw in for Los Alamos. Elia Walker makes the throw in. Going to come right back to her. She brings it into the right about the top of the penalty box. Hilltopper trying to get a shot off, cannot, as the ball was blocked away. It was Jenna Harris trying to make the shot, but boy, Selena Bales, she just blocked it, and then she just brought it up herself. She plays mostly in that penalty box. She's a defender, but she finally gets it up to midfield, and then we're going to have a push-off called against the Tigers, and so Mackenzie Ashave will kick it from midfield. Comes into the penalty box, and the Hilltoppers wide open. I mean, wide open, beautiful kick, and Tara McDonald with the goal for Los Alamos. And so Mackenzie Ashave, all right at midfield, and just about 4 or 5 yards, about 5 yards off from the sideline. She was just very, very close, right in line with the neutral flag, and she just let the ball fly, and the Taos fullbacks didn't move for some reason, and then they had three of the topper players, just this forwards and the strikers. They just all just took off. I thought for sure they were going to call offsides, and to see that goal coming, by the way, in the 59th minute, but I thought sure they were going to call offsides because the Tigers just didn't move, and then Los Alamos, as soon as Mackenzie kicked it, the Los Alamos forwards just took off, and they had three of them. It's three forwards attacking Elias Wazo, and there wasn't anything she could do, and the ball came to Tara McDonald, and she just powered it into the goal. But great kick by the sophomore Mackenzie Ashave, and to get it up to Tara McDonald. But then another beautiful kick from way out, and let's see who got that. And yeah, let's see. Yeah, it was the ball just kind of was sitting out there, and so just from about 30, 40 yards out. Where did that girl go? Oh, God. I mean, well, sorry, I had her number, and then, I had her set. She couldn't see her number, and then she got into the crowd and then came out of the crowd. I'm pretty sure, I think it was Jenna Harris. And that shot was from about easily 40 yards out. So 2 quick goals by Los Alamos, and this one coming in the 60th minute. So the Hilltoppers now lead 2-0. So after a scoreless almost three quarters, almost a scoreless 3 quarters, and the Hilltoppers scored 2 back-to-back goals in a couple of minutes. Strange game. It's a long kick upfield by Los Alamos, being chasing it down. Elia Walker down the left sideline. Elia coming in as a crossing pass. It's going to come to Tara McDonald. McDonald trying to set it up and center it up in the middle of the goal. Comes over now to Olivia Bell. Bell dribbles over toward the side. Pass comes in right in front of the goal mouth, but right there waiting for it at the top of the goal mouth was Karina Harroworth. She just clears it out. The Hilltoppers then take a moonball shot, and it's going to come right down to Elias Suazo. But for a minute, I thought she looked like she was misjudging it. Are we still having problems? Okay. I thought it was next to that, but this thing was over here. So I don't know how it got over there. Oh, well. Technology. So let's hope we got everything figured out. Drives me crazy. Sorry about that. Shot taken by Los Alamos, and that's going to, whoa. Beautiful shot by Tara McDonald, left-footed kick from 25 yards out. Came to Eliza Suazo, and she mishandled it. She couldn't handle it, but it does roll around her. She was able to get it to roll around the goal to the left side of the goal, so it's going to be a corner kick for Los Alamos. And let's see, I'm pretty sure that's going to be Tara McDonald in that corner. Yeah, so Tara lining things up for getting ready for this kick. So he gets the signal from the official, and this one is going to, she was trying to get it in order near the left goal post, and goes behind the goal post and hits the net. 2-0 ball game right now. We're in the 63rd minute of this ball game, and two quick goals in the late going of the essentially third quarter, if you want to look at it that way. So Tara McDonald with one, and then I'm pretty sure that was Jenna Harris that picked up the other. So Selena Bales will kick it up, bring it back up for the Tigers. Battle for it right down there by Addie Witt. Witt finally does get control. She's going to bring it up once again to Jenna Harris. Harris coming down the right sideline, and she's going to boot it across the end line, so that's going to make it a goal kick. 2-0 ball game right now, though. And a beautiful play is Mackenzie Ashavi. Fantastic kick right from midfield, and just about 5 to 10 yards in from the sideline. And she just put it in a perfect shot down to Sarah McDonald. And then quickly following that, just one of these shots that come out of nowhere. I mean, everybody's trying to get control about 30, 40 yards out from the goal, and then all of a sudden somebody just sees the opportunity and just puts a foot into it, which is what Jenna Harris did, and into the goal. So it's a 2-0 ball game, and those two goals coming within a couple of minutes of each other. So Tara McDonald on the attack for Los Alamos once again, trying to come around to the left side. She's still with it, still dribbling then she's triple teamed. She finally gets rid of it, and so it's going to come into the penalty box, and Selena Bales clears it out, but let's see, the official stops play, and I'm not sure why. But, I think we must have a girl with the. Yeah, I think this young lady has to leave the ball game and be treated. I don't know. It looks. I think she might have a bloody nose, but anyway, so they have to stop play, of course. And so that's Meredith Brown, but she's okay. It's just that they are now tending to her, but she did have to leave the ball game. So the Hilltoppers. Let's see, trying to see. Well, they're still a major lane. I think we're going to have a drop ball, I think. No, they just, it's a drop ball, but they drop. I thought it might be a drop ball like the jump, like when you have a jump ball, but they simply just dropped it right in front of the Taos player. So now they got to do it again. I don't know. I guess he didn't do it right. Okay, now he just puts the ball down. The first one he dropped it and she kicked it. Now he brings it all the way back, and now this time he just puts it flat on the ground. So it must have been possession. It must have been at the time that they stopped play, the Tigers had possession. So long kick down the field on the right side. Picked up there for the Hilltoppers by Peyton Miller. Miller will bring it up, and then it's going to be cleared out by Selena Bales. Hard kick toward the sideline, so that Hilltoppers will have that inbound over there. And let's see. 25 yards deep into Taos territory. And we're going to have a substitution for the Tigers. Checking out is going to be Josie Lesson. And coming in for her. See if I can see. She'll show me her number here. Okay, and that's going to be Natalia Quintanilla back in the ball game. So Josie Lesson was a freshman. She checks out. And then Quintanilla is a senior, one of 3 seniors on the team. Comes to Tara McDonald. McDonald gets it over to Jenna Harris, and then a left-footed shot taken by the Hilltoppers. And there's, and they got the pass inside to Jenna Harris, and Harris charging in from the right side, and she puts it, and everybody thought she'd had it, and so did I. And she put it with a left foot and just went just wide to the left. But Jenna almost her second goal of the ball game, and so we're in the 67th minute. I want to apologize for the reduction in volume. Nate and John came up and fixed all that, but the settings and the parameters we have, they kind of change just every game. And so it's trying to keep all this stuff, everything going the way it's supposed to be going. But anyway, we still have a very good system. Corner kick for Los Alamos. And so the corner kick, and it gets a header attempt, and this one's going to go in, and let's see that who got that header attempt. I'm pretty sure, let's see, that was Addie Witt, I do believe. So they had a corner kick, and they brought it right in the middle of the pack, and then Addie Witt with the header. I'm sure it was Addie, and so that makes it the 68th minute. So up here by myself, and I'm trying to fix it. Sometimes when these things happen, and then everybody starts running and hugging each other, and I'm trying to pick up the number of the girl that put it in, and sometimes sometimes it makes it difficult. Sorry about that. So, ball out of bounds. Addie Witt will inbound it. So we have goals, at least unofficially, I guess you'd have to say, by Tara McDonald, Jenna Harris, and Addie Witt. So if you read about it in the paper, that may not be what you read. On the attack again. And I mean, just determined that time to get that ball through everybody. And I mean, she just was not to be denied. And so picked up for Los Alamos. Going to be chased down, picked up now by the Tigers, and that's by Ava Gherkin. Gherkin has the ball stolen away from her, coming down the right sideline. Trying to get it to Tara McDonald. Ball is going to be cleared out of bounds by the Tigers. The Hilltoppers will inbound it, and they're going to inbound it about 10, 15 yards up from the flag. And just checking into the ball game right now was Peyton Miller. So she checks into the ball game, and then she makes the throw in. So the Hilltoppers. So right now the intensity has dropped a little as the top Hilltoppers suddenly lead this 3-0. We went almost 60 minutes with no score, and then all of a sudden we had two in about the last 3 minutes of that what would be of the third quarter. And then we had this goal coming here in about the 67th minute, and that one by Addie Witt. So we're going to enter the 70th minute here, so that in a moment we're going to be done up unofficially. About 10 minutes left in this contest, and it's going to be, and this one is going to, Los Alamos is going to come away with this one, because I can guarantee you Taos is not going to make 3 goals in the final 10 minutes. But you never know. Comes to the Hilltopper fullbacks, and they're going to bring it upfield. Addie Witt trying to get to it for Los Alamos, cannot. Stolen away by the Tigers. Pass down the right sideline, trying to chase it down and get to it for the Tigers. Boy, and Sienna Satania, and boy, she put on the afterburners. I tell you, she catches up with it, but it's going to be. Well, I thought it was going to go out of bounds, and I think Satania thought it was out of bounds, so she stopped. But then the official. The official didn't do anything, so they just kept playing. So the Hilltoppers trying to get it back upfield, but it's going to be picked up there, and now we're going to have a throw-in that throw-in is going to be made by Natalia Quintanilla. Quintanilla brings it just to the right corner of the penalty box, and long shot taken, and we have Dahlia Drew in the goalie right now for Los Alamos, in the goal for Los Alamos, by the way. And so the Hilltoppers trying to clear it out of the penalty box. Taos trying to get it back in the penalty box, and the Hilltoppers finally do bring it out, and coming up the field in a hurry, and we're going to have a major collision. Elia Richens crashing into J.D. Maris. And they didn't call anything. I mean, she just came roaring down the field and made the kick. And after she made the kick downfield, I mean, she just crashed into JD. There wasn't any two ways about it. And they just said, play on. I guess the referee's he's ready to go home too, I guess. So 72nd minute, but that's about as blatant as a collision as you want to see. So anyway, they bring it. So right now this ball just around midfield, and both teams just kind of playing with it. Now there's a pass down the right side of the penalty box, and they tried to clear it out. They just a kind of a half, just a half enthusiasm. I mean, just kind of Well, not much enthusiasm on that pass, and so trying to kick it out, and he kicked it. She just kicked it right to Tara McDonald, and McDonald then was not able to get anything with it. So the Tigers now still trying to bring it, and there's a moon ball that's going to come down about 5 yards deep into Taos territory, and the Tigers are going to pick it up, trying to get it now to Sienna Satania, and Taos now on the attack once again, but there's Elia Richens, and Richens says nothing doing, and Annabelle Caldwell trying to get around her, Annabelle a freshman, and Annabelle does end up stealing it away, so Annabelle stayed after it. So she and Elia Richens were battling it out, and looked like Elia had complete control, but the young lady was not. She wasn't about to be denied, and that was, of course, Annabelle Caldwell. So she was determined to steal that ball back, and she did. So a little boot by the Hilltoppers goes over the end line, or by the Tigers goes over the end line. So Dahlia Drew, the junior goalie for Los Alamos, she will make the kick. So it's a goal kick, short kick, but it's going to be picked up by Los Alamos, and then a nice kick upfield. The Hilltoppers trying to get something there. They bring it finally comes into the center circle, and neither team can get control as battling it back and forth. The Hilltoppers trying to get it down the right sideline, and they finally do. And we're going to have one of the Hilltoppers. Boy, she almost did a face plant. That's Annika Fox, who was the goalie. But boy, she went down, and so Hilltoppers are going to have a free kick, and that's going to be from the 20-yard line. So 30 yards deep into Taos territory, and right on the right sideline. So Tara McDonald brings it into the pack, and the pack just happens to be a number of white jerseys, and they just cleared over the end line. So now Tara will bring it up, move upfield, and she's going to take a corner kick. So I don't know what that was about. She approached the ball from the right side, and then everybody, both teams, everybody was in position, and of course they're supposed to move. Whoa! Oh my golly! And so Addie Witt puts it in again, and that ball just kind of rolled out. She was about on the 20-yard line, so she was about 30 yards out from the goal, and the ball just kind of rolled to her, and then she just decided to just give it just put her foot into it, and it just went flying toward the right side of the goal. She was over on the left side of the field, and then at the last second, it just curved and went right into the goal, and there wasn't anything Elias Wazo could do about it. So Addie Witt picks up her second goal of this contest. And unofficially, she has two, and officially, she has one. I can guarantee you. But boy, that was a beautiful shot, and it was just one of these ones where nobody expecting anything. The ball just rolling out toward her, and then all of a sudden she just let it go toward the goal. Curved right in. 4-0 now, and we're just about to enter the 77th minute. So we are right now into the the Tigers trying to get something going. Well, let's see. I'm not sure. We're going to have a substitution for Los Alamos, I do believe. Yes, we are. Let's see if I can check. Elia Richards, I think that's okay, well, that's gone forever. Jenna Harris on the attack. Coming down the left side, Addie Witt again. And this one's going to go over the end line off the Tigers. So the Hilltoppers so we just entered the 78th minute. And a 4-0 ball game. And the Hilltoppers are going to have another corner kick. Wow. They pouring it on here in the if you want to break it down by quarters, the went 3 quarters, essentially scoreless 3 quarters. And then in the closing couple of minutes of that, what we call the third quarter, in the 57th minute, 59th minute, a couple of quick goals. And then since then, they've added 2 more by Addie Witt since that time. So there's a shot by Los Alamos, and the stop is the clock is stopped now at 78. So that means we're at 2 minutes to go. The 79th and the 80th minute. So unofficially, we're in the final 2 minutes. I'm trying to shut my phone off. Anyway, so unofficially, we're in the final 2 minutes. Hilltoppers leading 4-0 here against the Tigers. So the Hilltoppers now in district play. Their record now is going to go to 5-3-1 and 3-0 in district play. But we'll talk about that just a little bit when we go. And so we should have unofficially, we should have officially actually, should have about 1 minute left. And the Tigers trying to get a little last minute something going. And we have one of the Tiger girls trying to make the attack, and then she's cut off. That's Selena Bales. She goes down. The ball now is going to go over the sideline and deep in Hilltopper territory, so they'll inbound it down that right sideline, and it's kicked upfield by Los Alamos, and they were trying hard. They were trying desperately to get it upfield, but not able to. Let's see, who was that trying to chase that down? Oh, that was Annika Fox. So Annika, the goalie, getting to play essentially kind of a forward position. So once again, it's out of bounds off the Hilltoppers, and they'll throw it in. And this game should just about be over, and it is. 4-0. The Hilltoppers take this one. We have goals by Tara McDonald, and that was in about the 57th minute, and then she was followed by Jenna Harris in about the 59th minute, and then I didn't catch the minutes on the other, but Addie Witt in the final 20 minutes added 2 more to make it 4-0. So that means that the Toppers now will go to 5-3-1 and 3-0 in district, and then the Tigers will fall now to 3 in their season they'll be 3-1, but in district play now they will be 1-2-1. So the Hilltoppers 3-0, and they have defeated the Tigers twice. In Taos it was 3-0 in Taos. It's 4-0 here. So that's going to do it for us. And let's see. Nothing tomorrow for us. Everything is on the road, and we're not going to be able to make that road trip down to Academy. But we'll have some action on, and that will be on Saturday. And I do believe the schedule keeps changing, but I thought this game was going to be at 6. So I told them I'll be over there about 5:30, and they said, that's good. About the time you get here, it'll be all over. So it turned out to be 4 o'clock. And so well, right now we have the girls soccer versus Moriarty. That's 11 o'clock on here at Sullivan Field on Saturday. I presume we might probably do that ball game, and then of course at 7 o'clock that's a nominal time, of course. You have to play the C team and the JV first, but anyway, at 7 o'clock we will have girls basketball, and they're going to go up against Hope Christian, and we'll be there to bring you that ball game. And last night we brought you the ball game between the Hilltoppers boys and Valencia, and boy, the Hilltopper boys, I mean, unbelievably impressive last night, and they won that ball game by 19. So this is Gene Mortensen, and thanks a lot. I want to tune in. I want to thank Carol Clark from the Los Alamos Daily Post, and my good buddies Matt Limbach and John McHale for all of their help and coming up and trying to keep me technologically correct. And so, anyway, that'll do it. 4-0. Hilltoppers take Taos and take control of the district. So this is Gene Mortensen, and have a great tomorrow. And you have to make it better Friday. All you got to do is put a little love in your heart. Don't forget to hug that penguin. But the most important thing you can do is just be excellent to each other. And hey, happy April Fool's Day, everybody. I don't know if you got stung or not. I stung a few people, which is always fun. So anyway, and Sweetie Pie, no April Fool here. I love you so very, very much, and I miss you so very, very much. Bye-bye, everybody.